Hey guys, welcome to my channel, The Homestead Quest. My name is Amanda, and this is the first full-length video we've done in a while. So today is going to be a fun and exciting video. I'm actually going to be letting you guys know the cause of death of my beehive, my honey beehive, that didn't make it through the winter. So today I'm actually going to be performing an autopsy on the dead hive. So if you guys want to know what killed my hive over the winter, come along with me today and we will go check it out.
So very quickly here, I'm just going to show you guys the process of breaking down my hive. Right now I'm in the top box and I'm just pulling out each frame and giving it a quick little inspection. I'm showing the camera here, but at the end of the video, when I'm in my garage, I'm going to give you guys a much closer look at these frames and give more of an explanation as to what's going on. Now I'm in my bottom box. No honey at all in these frames. The top box had quite a few frames of honey, but it's obvious that the bees ate through their stores in the bottom box. Just trying to give them a nice thorough look to see what clues I can see that will hint to why my hive died. And as you can see, it is just a whole bunch of dead bees. So I'm going to perform a Varroa mite test on the dead bees. All you need is a test and some rubbing alcohol. And you just swirl it around and that will remove the Varroa mites from the backs of the bees. And you can't see it in this shot, but right here you can see that there are so many Varroa mites.
Cause of death, the Varroa destructor, which is just such a bummer. I thought that I was on top of testing in the fall. So for mite tests, one of the way that you test is an alcohol wash, as you guys saw. I'll just grab it really quick. So this is a mite test, and essentially what you want to do is 1 cup of bees is about 300 bees, and if your mite load is less than 10%, so 3 or less, you're usually fine. Well, at around, it was the end of September was my last mite test, and I only had 1 mite. So I thought that I was good. I didn't test anymore. I didn't check again, and I never treated for mites. But there are hundreds, if not more, in this mite test, and now I know that that is what killed my hive. And for those of you that are new to beekeeping, and I'm still pretty new, I'm only on my 2nd year, but if you're wondering what the Varroa destructor is, they're Varroa mites. And they're a little red mite that they target nurse bees. And the reason they target nurse bees is because they want to eat the brood, which is essentially the bee larva in the hive. So nurse bees tend to the larva, so they'll latch themselves onto the back of a nurse bee, crawl to its stomach, and once a nurse bee is about to capped brood, that mite will drop right into that cell. So once it drops off the belly of the nurse bee into the cell with the larva, it gets capped in there, and it has just an all-you-can-eat buffet of its own larva that it can eat. And either it will kill the larva, or it will emerge with wings that are underdeveloped and a whole bunch of different issues, and it will never survive, and it won't become your typical honeybee. It will just die. So I showed the mites outside. I'm hoping that I got some good shots, but I'm going to show you guys one more time inside in the garage. It might be easier to see. It looks like just a bunch of junk, but if you see those really perfectly circular, I'll put circles around them and edit them in, but I mean, there are a lot of mites in there. They're perfectly circular. They're almost perfectly circular. Like, so I see 3 right up front. Oh, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. There are a lot of mites. So, cause of death, Varroa destructor. Shoot. So that's why when you're testing for mites, and I have a video that I can link in the comments below, When you're testing for mites, you want to choose frames that have brood on them, because that's going to be the frames that have nurse bees, and those are the bees you want to test to see if you have a surplus of Varroa mites. So the lesson that I learned from this is test for mites for as long as you can. I should have tested at the end of October, and then when I saw that there were more than 3 mites, which I believe there would have been, then I should have treated, whether it was Apiary or whatever it was that I would have treated with, and then honestly my bees probably would have survived, because at first I thought it was moisture that killed the hive because I didn't paint my hive last year, which I'm doing this year. That's another thing that you really should do. You paint your hives with exterior paint that you would like paint a house with. It just adds an extra layer of waterproofing to your hive, because it's not necessarily the cold that kills your hives, it's the cold and the wet, or just the wet. And we did have a particularly cold and wet winter, but if your hive is strong, cold's not going to kill it, but wet and cold certainly will. For all of you that participated yesterday in my Facebook post asking what you thought killed my hive, thank you so much. That was a lot of fun. I went through and everybody just had really great suggestions. I really enjoyed going through what everyone said, and just the anticipation and interest in what happened to my hive. So I really do thank you guys for that. That was great. And it made my page jump to 600 subscribers. So I actually gained a lot of new subscribers yesterday. So that was a lot of fun. This is Bear Bear. Hi, boy. My next step is with all these frames is going to be seeing what I can salvage out of them. I'm not going to consider this that great of a loss this year, losing my bees over the winter, because I gained knowledge on how to do an autopsy on a dead out hive. I also gained knowledge on what to do this year, meaning paint my hive and test and treat for Varroa as much as I possibly need to and have to. And I also gained some frames of honey that, instead of feeding my new packaged bees sugar water, I can just throw 2 frames of honey in on each end, and that will actually keep them fed, and I won't have to feed them sugar water at all. My mentor said that if you have 1 frame of honey on each end, that's gonna get them through the period that you would have to feed them. So that's great. And I also do have 2 frames of honey inside that I reserved for my honey bank that I ended up not using a few weeks ago to feed them because my hive died. I'll be able to just use that and harvest it for honey for us. So that's actually, to me, not a loss at all. I mean, it would have been really cool if my bees had lived. It would definitely have given me more of a head start on getting more honey this year. But I think that with that, those frames of honey that I'm gonna put in there, that's gonna give them a great boost. And I just think that it's gonna be a great year, and that I'll get a good amount of honey. So I'm gonna go ahead now and give you guys more of a close-up look at each one of these frames. So the other side of this frame is completely full, and there's a little bit missing here, and then the middle frame, I wish I had that up front, but it's completely full on both sides. So I'm gonna use those 2 to feed the bees, and then the back one is full on one side. So if I need to, I'll slide that back one in as well if they go through both of these. But that's what I'm gonna use in the hive. And then I'm gonna go ahead and scrape all of these frames of the wax and make some candles. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I think that's it for me, but there's going to be plenty more videos like this in the future. I'm going to be documenting and filming my videos with the honeybees, my garden, my chickens, my greenhouse. I have a whole bunch of content coming, especially with the season changing. Gardening season, and it's Washington State. Things get started really late. Once it gets going rapidly. So looking forward to sharing more videos with you guys in the near future. So thank you guys again. Have a great day. Bye.